So, ivlo narrow relations and functions paathachu. Now we are going to look at composition of functions. This is a very very small topic. Idhula 1 mark 2 mark questions varalam. Okay, so definition 8. Enna soludhu? You have ipo ivlo narrow two different functions paathittu. You saw x f of x in paathom. Ipo there is another function g. So ipo a to b is going to be f of x. B to c is going to be g of y. Ipo g of y na enna artham? You have y is equal to f of x. அப்போ y எங்க substitute பண்ணா என்ன கிடைக்கும்? You have g of f of x. So அதை நம்ம எப்படி எழுதலாம்? g of f of x இந்த மாதிரி எழுதலாம். So this is going to be the composition of function. Very very simple. You have g of f of x which is g of f of x. Okay. இப்போ ஒரு example solve பண்ணலாம். You will understand. So you have, let me map first. So இந்த இடத்துல f function is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let me first draw that. You have 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, this is mapped to 3, 4, 5, 9. So this is mapped to 3, 4, 5, 9. So this is going to be x, this is going to be f, and the g is given to be, g is mapped from 3, 4, 5, 9. அதாவது இந்த function லேந்து you have 7, 11 and 15. Okay, be the function. இது எல்லாமே function. Defined as f of 2 equals 3. f of 2 na என்ன அர்த்தம்? இந்த இடத்துல f of x க்கு 2 substitute பண்ணா it is going to be 3. So this is how you map. புரிஞ்சுதா? You have f of 2 equals 3. இப்போ f of என்னது? It is going to be x. இந்த இடத்துல it is going to be g of y. y என்னது? இந்த இடத்துல இருக்கு. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா? இப்போ f of x na என்ன? This is going to be x. So f of 2 is going to be 3. புரிஞ்சுதா? f of 2. Next, f of 3 equals 4. So I can map this. f of 4 equals f of 5 equals 5. So you have f of 4 and f of 5 equals 5. So first mapping முடிஞ்சது. இப்போ second mapping என்ன? You have g of 3 equals g of 4 equals 7. g of 3 equals g of 4 equals 7. And g of 5, g of 9 equals 11. g of 5, g of 9 equals 11. இப்போ என்ன கேட்குறான்? Find g of f ன்னு கேட்குறான். இப்போ x ஓட values எல்லாம் என்ன? When you have to find g of f of x, you have to find for all the values. So இப்போ எது எதுக்கெல்லாம் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்? You have to find this. So when x is equal to 2, when x is equal to 3, when x is equal to 4, and when x is equal to 5. Okay? So இப்போ g of f of 2 is going to be g of f of 2 என்ன வந்தது? f of 2 given in the question is going to be 3, but நம்ம map பண்ணதை வச்சும் நமக்கு சொல்ல தெரியணும். So 2க்கு it is going to be 3. So g of 3. And what is g of 3? This is mapped to the number 7. So this is going to be 7. இப்போ 3க்கு பார்க்கணும். 3 is mapped to number 4. So you have g of f of 3 is going to be g of 4, and 4 is mapped to again 7. So this is equal to 7. Then x is equal to 4. 4 is mapped to 5. Yeah? So let me write g of f of 4 is going to be g of, it is mapped to 5. 5 is again mapped to 11. புரியுதா? Question தெரியுதா? Here it is mapped to 11. Then again x is equal to 5 na, it is going to be g of f of 5 again. You see here 5 is mapped to number 5 and 5 is again mapped to number 11. So you have g of 5 which is going to be 11. So what are your g of f values? 7, 7, 11, 11. புரிஞ்சுதா? So these are the values. Please copy. So let's solve another question. Example 16. g of f கண்டுபிடிக்க சொல்றான், f of g கண்டுபிடிக்க சொல்றான், and you have to prove that g of f is not equal to f of g. Okay, this is also very very important. Commutative கிடையாது. So you have f of x equals cos x. Okay, so that is given. Let me write f of x equals cos x and g of x equals 3x square. இப்போ g of f of x என்ன? It is going to be g of f of x, which is going to be g of f of x and it is going to be cos x. So wherever I have x, I'm going to substitute cos x. So this is going to be 3 times x square க்கு பதிலா I'm going to write cos x the whole square. So this is going to be 3 cos square x. So this is going to be g of f ஓட function. இப்போ f of g பண்ணலாமா? So f of g of x is going to be f of g of x, which is going to be f of g of x and 3x square. So you have 3x square. When I substitute for x, x எங்க இருக்கு? It is only this. So I have cos times x க்கு பதிலா I'm going to substitute 3x square. So instead of x, I'm replacing x with 3x square. So this is going to be cos of 3x square and this is f of g. It is very very clear that 3 cos square x and cos of 3x square is not the same. So you have f of g is not equal to g of f. Okay, very very simple. Please copy. But next நம்ம பார்க்க போற topic is going to be invertible function. அப்படினா let's see the definition. You have function from x to y. x to y is defined to be invertible if there exists a function g from y to x such that g of f if equals I of x. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? Remember, g of x is in terms of I of x. கரெக்ட்டா? ஏனா இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்? Okay, I'll write it briefly. You have g of f of x தானே இருக்கு. So this is going to be ix. If you do f of g of y, this is going to be in terms of iy, correct? So if such a case exists, you say that g is the inverse of f. புரிஞ்சுதா? இப்போ g of f பண்ணா x வரணும், f of g பண்ணா y வரணும். இந்த மாதிரி இருந்ததுன்னா you say that it is going to be the inverse of each other. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? இப்போ 2 ஓட inverse என்ன? 1/2. அதே மாதிரி f ஓட inverse is going to be 1/f. We say that f and g are inverse of each other, which means f equals 1/g. Okay, இதுதான் proof. இதுதான் meaning of the definition. Okay, so let's solve an example. இதில் இன்னொன்று என்ன தெரியணும்னா, if f is invertible, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 1 mark question கேட்கலாம். Invertible னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? Then f must be 1 1 and on 2. And conversely னா என்ன? 1 1 and on 2 இருந்ததுன்னா invertible. So இந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸாம்ல கேட்டாங்கன்னா 1 1 and on 2 is the function invertible or not அப்படின்னு ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா invertible னு எழுதணும். Okay, so let's solve an example. You have n to y. Okay, so இந்த இடத்துல f of x is the function which is 4x plus 3. இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? This is going to be your f of x function and you are going to find your g function. But this is what? This is y equals 4x plus 3. So you have y minus 3 equals 4x. So from this you have x is equal to y minus 3 divided by 4. So இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம என்ன எழுதணும்? f of x equals y ன்னு எழுதணுமா? அதே மாதிரி இங்க என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? x is equal to g of y ன்னு எழுத போறோம். So you can write x as g of y. Do you understand? f of x equals y na x is equal to g of y. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? They are inverse of each other. அதுதான் நம்ம prove பண்றோம். So g of y என்ன? It is going to be y minus 3 divided by 4. Same step. Okay, but இப்போ y ஓட வேல்யூ என்ன? y equals 4x plus 3 from this. y equals 4x plus 3. And I substitute that here. I have next step la போடுறேன். What am I basically doing? I have g of 4x plus 3. So I'm basically doing g of f of x is going to be 4x plus 3 substitute பண்ணா y க்கு எங்க இருக்கோ அங்க 4x plus 3 substitute பண்றேன் minus 3 divided by 4. So what can I do? I can cancel the 3 and the 3 and I'll be left with 4x divided by 4. இதுவும் cancel ஆச்சுனா I'll be left with x. So what am I getting? I have g of f of x is going to be x, which means g is the inverse of f. And what is the inverse? இப்பதான் நம்ம கண்டுபிடிச்சோம். g is the inverse na, the inverse of f of x is going to be y minus 3. So inverse of f of x is y minus 3 divided by 4. So இதே நம்ம உல்டாவும் you also have to prove for f of g of x. கரெக்டா? இப்போ g of y. Okay, always remember you also have to do it for f of g of y. So what is your g of y? You just found it to be y minus 3 divided by 4. So இப்போ f of y minus 3 divided by 4 is going to be, what is your f of x function? It is going to be 4x plus 3. So 4 times x க்கு பதிலா I'm going to substitute this plus 3. So now when I cancel the 4 and the 4, இது சுத்தி சுத்தி ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும், but this is the meaning of this inverse function. இப்படி தான் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So you have y minus 3 plus 3. I can cancel this and I'm getting a y. So what am I seeing? I see that f of g of y is simply going to be y. So from this I can say that f is the inverse of g. Okay, pretty simple. So with this we are done with the chapter relations and functions. Very very easy chapter. இதிலேந்து 1 mark 2 mark 3 mark questions வரலாம். 1 markல வந்து சிம்பிளா 1 1 on 2 bijective injective surjective இந்த மாதிரிலாம் ப்ரூவ் பண்ண சொல்லலாம். on 2ல 3 mark questionல you can get functions 1 1 on 2 இதெல்லாம் ப்ரூவ் பண்ண சொல்லலாம். So please pay attention. Relationsமே ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Relationsல actually equivalence relations கேட்பாங்க. Symmetric, reflexive, transitive இதுவும் கேட்பாங்க. So please remember and solve it. All the best for your exams. Bye.